Right,
Yeah,
Bart, talk to me about that first half statistically because it was pretty poor. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if
the
you look,
stats pack, the Everton's passing network is genuinely hilarious.
it is. I mean, there isn't a parts network, by the way. And if you go to the actual player analysis tab, which people can find third one along, the passing connections is even more hilarious because there's only three players that have a pass connection of over five passes for the
No way.
entire game. So you've got Gaia with Alcaraz, you've got Tchaikovsky with Pickford, you've got Pickford with Tchaikovsky, and then Pickford with Braithwaite. They're the only players in the Everton lineup that had a pass network or pass connections of five passes. Everybody else was less than that, which shows you exactly what we know Moyes is going to set his team up to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the Everton pass maps are a thing of some would say beauty. You know, how could you create that amount of XG through no pass network? It is purely something to study.
And I
Ours
think
first off, yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I think one of the things I think we need to discuss, which is your fantastic player by player dual plots, and on
Yeah,
the which tab is it on? It's on the player analysis
Platter.
tab again
Yeah,
because there's some big stories here.
yeah. If you go player by player, I'll just get down to that now. You've got, yeah. I mean, our defensive ones, blue successful by the way to all
Yeah,
the to help Darfur's colour blindness,
yeah,
and
brilliant,
everybody
blue and
else
red. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
blue and
absolutely.
red. So
There's one of our players
Robertson.
not very good in our half.
One of our players not very good at our half. Which way are you looking at?
Yeah, Ibrahim Konate, not very good in
Well,
our half.
yeah, all
Yeah,
right, fair enough. Yeah,
yeah.
he's not great at half, but you've also got yeah, that's the next step down, isn't it? Yeah, Canate isn't great at our half. I think Van Dijk actually has a lot of blue in our half, but has red higher up, so that's a
Yeah,
bit of
it's on the
a
corners where we
yeah.
had absolutely nothing from corners. So absolutely.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
I also to be a positive, I'm just trying to find Curtis's because I thought Curtis, yeah, Curtis has got blue in our half and only lost two duels on a red. So considering Curtis was playing as a makeshift right back, that was pretty decent from his performance.
You
And
can
what
if you scroll
is
and if you scroll up to Beto, you can see Beto's wins right in the middle of our half
oh
and the corresponding one. So I
yeah,
think better go on that. I think all four of those Beto wins were against Canate in our half, which does
yeah,
which passes the eight. And obviously
plus
there was a Van Dijk miss kick for a share shot, which let him in as well for another one
yeah.
as
I
well.
mean, I think Si said it in our chat. This is exactly the same as Goodison, right? Beto managed to. I don't know what it is because
He is
he's not a
big.
high quality forward, right? He's big, right? He's mobile. He can win his areas, but to put him anywhere near the top, maybe even the two brackets below the top centre half would be kind on him, right? He's a Premier League dogs of war type centre forward, and yet he's made, I would say, two of the best centre halves in the Premier League look ordinary for two games now,
Yeah,
which nobody else has managed to do. He's won his duels. When he's had an opportunity to get a shot off, he's got a shot off. Yes, he hit the post and missed, but I'm just saying to you, he had an opportunity, he's got a shot off. So yeah, it's interesting. I think also from a dual loss perspective, if you go to the past maps, we did, I think out wide we did fairly well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it apart from those Beto, it's generally okay centrally. We have a lot of blue centrally in terms of successful duels. It's just out wide we've lost a few. Robertson loses a few in the first half, times up second half. But in terms of what we were doing, again, Slot made a change at half time. I think he's become very good at this. If you look at the first half in terms of our pass network, we're not linking in with Jota. He's got no passes to him. The right triangle is developed. The left triangle is trying to develop better, but it's white. So that in terms of low threat, low passing accuracy. And as Si said, the box isn't really there in midfield, so we can't do that. If you look at the second half, we shift the play up a bit. We actually occupy the half spaces and zone 14, and the front three connect and Dom and Mac take a bit more advanced positions, and Curtis is a bit further forward and connected as well. So I think that movement, even just asking the team to be a bit braver, play higher up, has an effect, because we then try and, if you look at the pass change as well, we start dominating in those areas that we do, and I think that's eventually that pressure settles and we get the opportunities that we create. But yeah, I think you're right. Beto seems to have the Indian side, should we say, over Canate, but otherwise, essentially, we did fairly well with Jules, which
Definitely some kind of voodoo thing going on, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely, because he wouldn't normally suffer from that. Definitely wouldn't normally suffer from that.
Yeah. I think one player that we do have to, as Si's already alluded to, one player we do have to laud, I think, in this match is Luis Diaz. Some big numbers for Luis in this game, but
yeah, I thought we've said this a bit, right? Diaz can have these games where he is. I think Hamzah said it as well beautifully, that he can be the outball for us on the left. It's just that you have to supplement that with finding the finishing product.
yeah,
because Diaz is like, Diaz does the beautiful carry. He can be the threat, and then you have to supplement that by finding an output somewhere else.
yeah,
But in terms of his output here, if I could just find him on the pack, I thought he was 14% of our creation of EP3 is exceptional for him. It's not normally that high. 92, nearly 92% pass success for him, again for a winger. That's really good, considering we normally ask them to take risks with that. Going the other way in terms of dual success, he's at 70%, which is one of the highest. So I've probably got a slightly different number. I've got
5 out of 6 on his dribbles.
Yeah,
And I think there was a lot of stuff there that don't go down as the dribble columns, but he was constantly involved with running away from Everton players, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, and then he would do, if you look at the second half triangle, he would zip it back into whoever was occupying the central area, and then we try and go out of the way. I mean, Si's probably got a different possession goal. I got -10 for possession control, which might be here or there, but
there's a bit of work to do. There's a bit of work apparently for you to do to check your calculations on that. There's a little bit of difference, but not too much. But,
yeah.
Yeah, he had the highest OBV in the team from StatsBomb, 0.44.
Yeah.
And his expected passing on StatsBomb model was 7 above. He had 49 expected passes completed, and he actually completed 56, which is really unusual for Diaz. And he created 6 chances, including the goal. And 4 of those 6 chances came in the 12 minutes of the second half before the goal. So he was lively, should we say? One thing you always get with Diaz, Bart, is the work rate, and he never lets his head go down, does he?
Never. I think on and off the ball is really important for us. Like for any side going for the title, but he never lets his head down. He'll always, if he makes a mistake going forward, he will always make sure he's doing it off the ball work. But you're right, he's on the ball contribution for me was second only to Mac. Mac had 18% of our APP creation, but that's some of the balls that Mac put through second half. I mean, you called one out in the chat. He played the Trent ball, didn't he? Straight into Mo, which created an opportunity. So that would have had a high XT. But no, I thought it was one of his better games, and utilising him in the right way. Not expecting him to finish, but to create a threat and then allow us to finish. So yeah, on off the ball, a very good performance from Diaz, and probably worthy of man of the match, to be fair.
Yeah. I think Jota got the official award, which is a bit weird, but Si, one of the things we talked about in our chat is that okay, it's a difficult game, it's a derby and stuff, but a bit like the Newcastle game, there was a kind of a Trent Alexander-Arnold shaped hole in our build-up and progression, where it wasn't. And again, nobody was really stepping up in his absence either. That was the thing that, yeah. What did you think, Si?
Yeah, there's a weird thing, right, with this game, particularly when talking about missing Trent, because I think we had 2 players play well in this game, and his replacement was one of them. I thought Curtis was brilliant.
Yeah.
The thing is that our team is set up for specific profiles and specific positions. And you go, oh, let's have a midfielder at right back because that will provide attack. But what it provides is something entirely different, because Curtis has such different profile, equal profile to Trent. So, the average,
so what if we had to say what are Curtis's 3 superpowers? Say, see if we've got the same. Press resistance, number 1, yeah, absolutely.
By miles. Work ethic is another one. Like he runs his absolute nuts off and pressing. I would say there.
Yeah, I was going to say carrying as well with the ball rather than passing.
Even then, he still doesn't get much progressive carry. No. Like Conor Bradley, if you just look at fullbacks, Conor Bradley's much higher as a progressive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And even this season, Trent is higher than he has been typically with carries.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's been a thing, but yeah.
Yeah, and ball retention as well. We know with Curtis as well. He's the highest pass completion in the team, or every game and for the season.
Yeah, and we can even look at the number of passes received by the right back from Mo Salah in this game would be the second highest of any game this season.
Would it really?
Yeah, 19. That's a really high number. But the problem is the type of passes. So this creates two different situations, right? If we're talking about it as a negative from Mo's perspective, from utilising and maximising having Mo Salah in your team, is
which has been the game plan all season.
Yeah, Trent unleashes him quickly. So from the moment we get the ball, Trent gets him the ball as fast as possible. And what we don't do when Trent's not playing is get Mo Salah the ball within 3 seconds of winning it back, which is where he is the rock star in the world. We're getting it really slow progression of the pitch. Yeah. And then Curtis will either interchange with a 2-yard pass and then move past him, or stand off Mo, or make a rolled 5-meter pass out to him, like we're playing against tackle dummies. And go on then, Mo, do something. It's such a different situation for Mo. But going back to profiles of this game, right? The typical Trent Alexander-Arnold game would be 7 progressive meters per pass. And in this game, Curtis gets 3. Actually, 2.89 progressive meters per pass, which tells you a lot instantly, right? Curtis's possession control was +2, which is a 6. Is a really good performance from us.
But Trent's is usually like -20.
Exactly, because there's no threat. So XG build per game. XG build in this game for Curtis was 0.2. The Trent averages 0.59, and XT in this game per 100 touches. Let's normalise for 100 touches. Curtis's XT in this game was 0.21, and Trent averages 0.49.
Yeah.
They're just such different characters. They bring entirely different things to the team, so that manifests in there being black holes of one thing and sparks of other things within the structure of the team. So other players need to do those things in other areas at different speeds than they used to create similar outcomes for the rest of the team. So Trent's missing. We need some fast outlet passing from the technical midfielders, and we don't get it. We just don't see it.
We got it one time in the whole match.
Yeah.
55 minutes. Mac tries to play the early ball round the corner over the top for Mo. And that's the only time in the whole match.
Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way. With the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.